Hey, what's going on, people? It's been a while, man. I started to do a video yesterday, but there was so much going on as far as trade deadline and this and that. So I figured I'd just say, you know what? I'll kick it off tomorrow. It feels good to be back. My schedule is like crazy right now, so it's like I can't really do my full breakdowns, and I've been just wondering how can I just condense everything that I do into, like one, So today I'm just gonna provide you guys with some value plays that I don't mind playing, and I'll give you guys a few of my favorite plays, and let's see where this takes us today. So with that being said, let's get right into it. You guys can check the link in my description. Check my description, and all of my links to my social media sites are there. Follow me on Twitter. My link is down there at Denzel1, and just have some fun, guys. So we're gonna jump right into it today. Jumping off into we got a 10-game slate today. I wish I can go in depth, but unfortunately I will not. So starting things off, I'm just gonna stay in the value in the value market, and hopefully give you guys a few plays that I like. Okay, starting off with this game right here, this Memphis and Indiana game. I'm gonna give you guys my favorite play from this one. My favorite play from this game is none other than Marc Gasol. I just like Marc Gasol. I've been tired of, I just say I'm kind of like done with, I ain't gonna say done, but I'm just not feeling Mike Conley at the moment. But he can do, Mike Conley, he can have a great game. Paul George, he's in the elite spot, on his team, but this is the guy here who I'm looking at from this game period. He's somebody who can tear it up. He doesn't need 40 to hit value, and that's a good thing. And he just knows how to ball. Rebounds, assists, blocks, steal. He does a little bit of everything, man. He can pass, so I think I'm just gonna, I'm liking that Marc Gasol train. So moving over to this Washington and Philly game. But looking at the Washington and Philly game, Washington is just like on fire at home. Unfortunately, they're on the road today. So with that being said, we know the trades and everything. Gortat, he's a very nice play coming in at 6,400. If he's got a little. Let me see who's coming behind him. You have to keep an eye on Mahimi. His minutes is supposed to go up, so all those minutes that Gortat was logging, it might be cut into by about 5 or 10 minutes or something like that. So you might be able to see Mahimi in that that upper 18, 20 minute range. Probably from here on out. As he gets more familiar with the offense, and Philly just acquired. Washington just acquired, what's his name? Bogdanovich. So that's something to keep an eye out on. But I'm a little bit more focused on the Philly side of things here. You're going to get Okafor logging a ton of minutes. McConnell is somebody who I like, especially at that 5,500 price. He's just someone who I like. I don't mind firing him up. Saric, he's going to see a nice allotment of minutes as well. And my favorite play, Covington. Covington, he's gonna get his minutes. He's some like the glue over there. So he's gonna get his minutes as well. If I have to go out on a limb and say my favorite play from this game, the boy Sarris has been balling, man. He's going to be very high on today. He gets buckets. His attempts are up there. He's getting at least 15 attempts a game, and that's what you like. Cash, he's a plug and play for Cash, no doubt. Cash and GPPs, McConnell, Okafor would be a high pick and a popular pick today in Cash as well. At 5,200, he doesn't need much, so he's somebody you can really, 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 really take a look at, So, those are some guys that I'm targeting. Moving over here to the Boston and Toronto game. Toronto is getting kind of, loaded. They just acquired Serge Ibaka, who's in play today. And then they just acquired PJ Tucker as well. I don't think he'll be playing today, but he's someone, that they acquired, so that's adding more fuel to the fire. Good big ups to them. But what I'm looking at is on the Boston side of things. And on the Boston side of things, I'm liking Isaiah Thomas today. I feel like he's going to have to work for this one. And at 9K, we know what he can do. And I'm looking for his usage to be up. And I'm definitely liking him today. So, moving over to the Dallas and Minnesota game. Interesting thing to point out here. Nerlens Noel probably won't play today. And, Dallas, they recently acquired him. And Darren Williams is no longer with the team. So, you can look at Yogi Ferrell, Dirk Nowitzki is only the center spot. I love him today as well. He's no longer power forward center eligible. I don't mind some Gorgie Jing and Seth Curry. He might go overlooked today, and that's something to keep an eye out on. No Darren Williams. He's coming in at 4,500 today. It is what it is. It doesn't need much for him to hit value, so he's a pretty nice value play for you guys. Another guy to keep in mind here is Brandon Rush. He is 3,200 and he's playing, well over 25 minutes a game. So if he could ever figure out, a way to get about at least 10 points a game with that volume on the minute side that he's getting, he could probably return nicely on that 3,200 price tag. My favorite play on that Dallas side could easily end up being Dirk Nowitzki, because I know coming in at that 5,500 and with his minutes cap lifted, he can just explode. You see what he just did last game against a Detroit team. He had 48 fantasy points, surprisingly a double-double. So keep an eye out on Dirk Nowitzki. Yeah. And I'm not getting into all the bigger names or nothing like that. I'm just pointing out some lower price, some mid-range guys for you guys that that can really, really make a difference. Some guys that probably you're probably not even paying attention to. LA Lakers and OKC game. Now they've acquired Taj Gibson, McDermott, and God dog it, who's that other guy they got from us? They got Taj Gibson, McDermott, and hell, I forget. And anyways, I know they stole a second pick from us as well. That's the part I didn't like was that second pick. So that second rounder that Chicago Bulls gave up. Anyway, hopping right back into things. Now, Russell Westbrook, he's sky high. He's still in play. I don't know if I highly doubt if Taj Gibson or McBuckets are going to be playing today. But if not, and then Canners, I don't know his situation. I think he's expected. Yeah, he's expected to play today. So my favorite play, coming in over here is of course is Westbrook. Outside of Westbrook, though, I'm really looking at Oladipo today. He's someone who I think can really do some damage today. He's sitting around at that 6,500. At that 6,500 price, probably my favorite play out of this game, and so I'll definitely be looking to have some of him. And on the Lakers side of things, I just have no choice. I have to have me some D'Angelo Russell today, coming in at 6,600. He's he's bound to see some extra volume today, as they lost Lou Williams, and they're going to need a scoring punch with Magic there. And I remember hearing a couple days ago that Magic said that he would like to see a little more of Zubac. So that's something to keep in mind, And Corey Brewer, they recently acquired Corey Brewer. He's probably not going to be active today. If he is, he might be limited. That's something to keep an eye out as well. So, my favorite, these guys right here are probably my favorite two plays from this game. I don't mind, other players. Julius Randle is an interesting play as well, with all the rest of these garnered through the day. So, I don't mind him. And I know Jordan Clarkson will probably see an uptick as well. Moving over to the Atlanta and Miami game. There's some value that just opened up in this one. When you look at the Miami side of things, though, they're starting to get a little bit more healthy. You got Josh Richardson. He probably should be playing today, so keep an eye on that. And we know Justice Winslow is out for the season, so it's looking like that. It's coming to be mid-season. They're trying to get their little health back, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we do have an interesting price tag with Goran Dragic, since we know that he's the leading candidate for the point guard. He's the starting point guard over there, and with the health, that could probably only benefit. That could benefit him, as far as in the assist category and things like that. And he's coming in he's under 7K. So that play right there is a play that I don't mind, Probably the only player that I'll probably be looking to roster, if I was going to roster someone from that Miami side of things, would be Dragic. Yep. Tyler Johnson is always an interesting play. With the health getting back, he was playing multiple positions, so I don't know how many minutes he's going to be getting right now. But if he was to get around that 30 minutes range, then, he will definitely be in play at that 5K price tag. But, with the biggest slate like this, you don't have to second guess yourself. You can always look other places. On the ATL side of things, we know we got Shorter out today. He couldn't make it back from the All-Star break. Then he had to get his passport and things and all that stuff together. And, long story short, he's out. So, right off the bat, before I forget this, we got who we have stepping up. We have Malcolm Delaney stepping up in his absence. I think Malcolm Delaney will get a nice amount of minutes. So, he's just a backup. He's coming in at 3K. I'm gonna take a shot at him. I'm gonna take a shot at him, and that's that. If he can get upwards of 25 to 30 minutes, then I'll be happy. Minus, out there with the first unit, 3K, he doesn't need much to hit value. A good play if you're trying to stuff in Westbrook or something like that. So, I don't mind the play. We know we got Thabo Sefolosha back, so that's something to keep an eye out on. He'll be coming off the bench. I assume Tim Hardaway gets a major bump this game at 5,700 going up against Miami. Miami is a gritty team, so but at 5,700 we've seen Tim Hardaway Jr. do damage. As far as my favorite play from this team, I really don't have a favorite play from this team, but if I was to or from this game period, but like I said, if I was to play anybody from this side of things, I would probably go for either Tim Hardaway Jr. or stick it out cheaply and go with Malcolm Delaney. But it's each his own. Ersan Ilyasova will be making his debut today as well. But I just know there's better options on this slate overall, so I'll keep it moving. Point out some cheaper plays. Now we got Phoenix and Chicago, and I will start on the Phoenix side of things, and I'm gonna go right on to this guy right here. Devin Booker. He's someone who I really like. And I'm torn between him and Oladipo, but I really like Devin Booker, guys. And I really like his price tag, and I love the upside that it can bring on that. Eric Bledsoe could have a good game. Tyson Chandler is someone who I'm off. But TJ Warren, with PJ Tucker gone, TJ Warren is probably going to be looking, he's got to be. Last time they played Chicago, I was watching him, and he was just nailing us with this little 19-footer, And if that's there for him again this game, I like him. But that price and at that value and the new look Suns minus PJ Tucker, hey, fire him up, man. I am. Especially if I'm trying to squeeze in some studs. So with the departure of that PJ Tucker, you just might see Jared Dudley a little bit more again. He has been playing minutes lately, but that's something to keep an eye out on the sleeper side. On the Chicago side of things, you see Bobby Portis. He will be getting a start, So interesting thing to point out with Bobby Portis here. They just instantly catapulted his price. It's something I don't like. Give us all a fair shake now. Last game he played, of course, he put up 30 fantasy points, But, I guess the departure of Mick Buckets and Taj Gibson only catapulted his price, so he just shot up 1,600 to 5K. But he will get the start today, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Phoenix is not that. They just don't have a bona fide power forward. They have a guy like Chris. Should be a good matchup. I like Bobby Portis. Jimmy Butler, his price is so high right now, but minus PJ Tucker, they might have a hard time with Jimmy Butler tonight, but his price is really high. Nikola Mirotic might, he probably, carve him out a bigger role tonight. So he's something to keep an eye on as well. I know it's easy on a bigger slate like this, guys like this, it's probably easy to look over. So that's someone right there that you can look at. And like I said, the new guys, Joffrey Laverne, Cameron Payne, and Anthony Morrow. Keep an eye out on those guys to see if these guys, if they're playing. So there you have that. One moment. Okay, I'm back. So Jimmy Butler should be at full strength. Wade should be at full strength. Keep an eye on the starting lineup tonight. This one here though, I like this game. For fantasy purposes. Michael Carter Williams, he's in play, and it is what it is. Let's keep it moving along. Utah and Milwaukee. I'm probably won't be on too many guys from this game. I will say that my favorite play from this game, period, will be Gordon Hayward. I like him tonight. I like him in this matchup, and they just played them recently. I know he had about a good 40 fantasy points or something like that. Not recently, but they did just play him. He had 47 fantasy points, and I do tend to target small forwards against this defense, against this Milwaukee defense. So I'm really loving Gordon Hayward this game. And I like Rudy Gobert at that 7,100 price tag. He doesn't have to give you much, between 35 and 40 fantasy points. Or at least we want to see 40. But I like Rudy Gobert as well. And those are probably the only two guys I probably would even roster from this game format, period. So, we could probably move on. Keep in mind in that one, Rodney Hood is in play today too. So he's been out for a while. Brooklyn and Denver. Jokic, something told me to fade him last night, and I faded him. And it worked out. So, there you have that. I just want to get that out. But, hey, they're coming off a back-to-back, Denver, and they'll be looking to get some revenge. But we're going to start off over here. Jeremy Lin is back tonight, folks. He's starting. He's 5K. If you want to fire him up, your guess is good as mine. I ain't mad at you. I'm a risk taker. Take that risk if you want. Just do it. I'd imagine Trevor Booker would be starting. What's Bogdanovich? He's gone. So, there you have that. So, that's more minutes for guys like, if I'm not mistaken, LeVert and Foy is starting, so it's crazy. They still playing around and all of this with the lineups. You got to be careful, when you're looking at the Brooklyn side of things. I call them the all-value team, but I don't mind Brook Lopez. I don't have a favorite over here. I don't mind Brook Lopez though. He's definitely someone who can erupt. As you can see, the last game he played, he had he had 63 fantasy points against Milwaukee. So, he's someone that can erupt. So there you have it. On the Denver side of things, this is an interesting thing I want to tell you guys right here. Coming off the All-Star break and things like that. I know Nikola Jokic, he's the man. I said to myself yesterday, man, they are getting so healthy, number one. Number two, they are so deep. And I'm like, man. And then his price is so high. I really like Jokic, man. And, he's like one of my favorite fantasy dudes. But I said to myself, how can I roster him? I mean, who They're so deep over there. They are deep. They are deep. So I said, you know what? Tonight I'm just gonna, scale back. I'm not even gonna roster him. Well, actually, last night and I didn't roster him. This is the first time I didn't roster him, and since he started, and so I've been riding him every day. But that's something to keep in mind, guys. They got up and coming. A guy in Hernan Gomez, Fareed still a couple minutes here and there, Mason Plumlee, who they want to look at, Gallinari, who needs the ball, Gary Harris, who's hogging up a lot of minutes, Jameer Nelson, the new starting point guard, Wilson Chandler needs some minutes, Will Barton coming in getting 30 minutes and plus off the bench, and then you got Jokic. Like, come on, man. They're so deep, so, everybody's in play from this team. I don't even have a favorite from this team tonight, and you guys can take it for what you want. So I can't even decipher this one. That's it. And the last game of the night, you got San Antonio, and the Clippers. I really want to like. I want to like DeAndre Jordan so much tonight. I don't see him getting in foul trouble or nothing. If Paul Gasol, he is questionable. He's considered probable, and that's a good thing, in my opinion, for DeAndre Jordan. He's a great rebounder. Give him some time off of that Dedmon train. Dedmon is a good rebounder as well. But I would love to see Paul Gasol start, and free up a little bit more rebounder space for DeAndre Jordan. And, there you have it. I want to like DeAndre Jordan, at that price, $6K, he doesn't have to do much, a simple double-double can possibly boost them up to the value category, and that's something, to keep an eye out on. Kawhi Leonard's prices went down. He's in play. Blake Griffin is an interesting play. He's running that power forward point type of role. So the offense is running through him, and I wouldn't be surprised if if he gets out on that perimeter a lot. And I don't know, man. With his athleticism and things like that, Aldridge, it can work both ways. But I can see him getting the best of Aldridge. They'll be at home. I don't mind that play. He'll probably be lower owned, and there you have it. But that's all I got for you guys today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I want to try to keep these videos. Every day I'm going to be working on trying to get them down because my schedule is so condensed. I'm usually putting them out early in the morning. Now I probably can't even put my videos out early in the morning. It's just hectic. But you know what? I'm gonna do my best. Good luck tonight, guys. I would love to see. I appreciate all the feedback that I've been getting. I'd love more. Like I said, follow me on Twitter. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe. If you didn't like this video, give it a thumbs down, man. And with that being said, check my description, my Facebook groups, my Facebook page, my Twitter at Denzel1. Shoot me some questions, and guess what, guys? I'm out.